Welcome to Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise and News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM, WINA, and brought to you by the Jefferson School Foundation with Mark and Price, coming to you in downtown Charlottesville. Today, we'll be thrilled to be joined by Atalaya Sergi, Executive Director of the Almar Foundation for Education, graduate of UVA, Go Who's, I'm biased, and VCU. And VCU. Most excitingly for me, our next guest on this episode of Envision Radio.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It is hot. It is very hot.
You know what they say when it get hot? People start acting up. Okay, that's what number one thing. When it start getting over 80, 90, you got to stay in that house.
You know,
people be doing things they ain't supposed to do. They didn't do it in the winter.
Thing that happens, which is exactly this, where it's like we complain about how it's too cold in the morning.
Oh,
you get like 3 days of like, you know what? I like it, and then boiler room.
This morning I had my hand out the window.
Yeah.
I was driving to work. I said, God, this is perfect. If it could stay like this all day.
Even then?
Yeah,
I was outside at like
morning.
5:45, and it was like 75 degrees.
It was 75 degrees.
That's a lot
75 is
for 5:45
the
in the
perfect temperature to have your
Not
window
at
down,
5:45 in the
playing a
morning.
nice songs. Yeah, no. I was
Walk
like,
the dog this
summertime.
Yeah.
That's how it was this morning.
But
when
it's too early. It's too early to be 75 degrees.
That's when you just start sitting. That's when we're losing recipes. You need to be sitting out on your porch at that time of morning, just sipping your coffee. I don't drink coffee, but whoever is does. That's what y'all need to be
It's too
outside.
hot. That's what I'm saying. It's too hot.
It wasn't too hot then.
Oh, really?
It was
Are you
perfect.
a hot weather? Would you rather be hot? Are you a
I
hot
would
weather
rather
person?
be hot.
Okay.
I would rather be hot.
I would rather be hot as well.
I know that. I know that
would rather
about
be
you.
hot.
See, that's my thing. Is that I'll be cold.
You rather be cold?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
See, we had this conversation,
No.
Atalaya, last time about sleeping, and you were the person.
I keep that cover on me.
Right.
In the middle of summer.
Crazy.
I can't breathe, but I put that cover on me.
Crazy behavior. That's nuts.
It's a Linus blanket thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I can't do hot.
You just have
unless my hotness is restricted to bodies of water, right? If we're like, okay, cool, we're at the lake, we're at the beach, you can be as hot as you want. If I got to be out here, just like walking to a meeting, I can't be turning up here all hot and crazy looking.
I can't do cold.
I cannot do the cold.
I love a good coat.
There's not enough clothes that I
Really?
can put on to feel warm.
It's in
the
your
wintertime.
bones.
Oh
Yes,
man, I love
deep
give me a
inside your
big jacket,
bones.
give me a neck warmer, give me a hat. Let's do it.
Also,
Love
it's too much.
Love it.
You got
I
to put
like
all
it.
that stuff on when you leave house. That is too much. You got to get started like 5 minutes early.
That is true. But
Yeah.
see, here's the thing for me too about
You gotta
cold.
warm your car. Even your car don't want to start
That's
right.
true. The thing about cold though is I feel like cold has a larger sort of margin for error, right? So if it's cold, anywhere below like 40, you can just wear all of it, right? It's not like, oh, a light jacket or a heavy jacket. When it's hot, you're kind of like, is it too hot to wear long sleeves? Is it too, right? Like there's as you get hotter, right? Because you could argue that, okay, 60-ish, you could go like long sleeve and shorts, right?
Yeah.
But what if you start walking and you got to walk a little farther? Now that's too much because now you're doing too much work and now you're sweating, right? If it's cold, just be cold. Just like throw on a big coat, be good. You have larger margin for error.
No.
We can't see everyone's faces looking at me
Like,
like I'm
yeah,
you guys can't see what's going on in here. It's just full of consternation.
No, yeah, but I'd rather be hot. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
This morning I was washing my hands and I was like, oh, my pinky cold. I don't like that. I was like, I dry my hands real fast. That's how bad I don't want to be cold.
It's nuts.
No.
That's nuts. Well, you two can enjoy this hot 100-degree weather.
I know you're not going to believe the price it has on a jacket right now.
I'm in here in a full snowsuit.
He got a snowsuit on right now.
Trying to incubate myself. So y'all can take that somewhere else. Anyway, that's a little flavor of what's going to happen here for the next hour. Who knows what's going to happen next? Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you all for having me.
So I was going to say on your summer, but you don't get a summer.
I don't get a summer.
You are one of the education adjacent that doesn't have summers off.
No summer.
That's the worst part about being an adult. I miss the summer so bad.
Yeah.
When it get June 1st, I'm like, aren't we supposed to be on summer break?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because a lot of schedules are like that. So you do have that cascading feeling of like, oh, it's almost summer break. And then you're like, oh, wait. It's just Thursday.
It's summer break for everyone.
It's just Thursday. So let's talk a little bit about let's go back to go forward. So talk a little bit about where you're from, and then we will trace the work. And again, I think you're fully aware that this could really end anywhere, but it'll be fun no matter what.
No matter what.
So I grew up in Prince Edward County, Farmville, Virginia area, so about an hour and a half from here. And actually, the address for my family home is called Rice, Virginia.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Most people don't know where that is.
Yeah.
No, I
Never
don't.
heard of that. Yes. So if you keep driving through Farmville, going a little bit west, you'll run into Rice. It's a small, unincorporated little area, very rural.
Yeah.
So I grew up on family land. My great-grandmother owned at one point 100 acres of land.
Oh, wow.
And the family now has like a little neighborhood.
What?
Y'all built like houses on the land altogether?
So she's
Come on.
over time split up the land to different family members. And so my uncle lives behind me, my cousin lives beside us, other cousins live across the street, and a lot of the houses, their parents lived in those houses.
Yeah.
So they're still there. And interestingly enough, my maternal aunt bought a piece of land right across the street from my father to help him take care of me and my sister when my mom passed away. So I have both sides of my family that are all right there.
So you're saying that your family owns the town?
I was about to say, right?
Or what are y'all, the mayor? Is there a mayor?
No, there's no mayor. There's no mayor of Rice. No. Probably if there was a mayor of Rice, it would be one of my cousins.
Yeah.
She is the social butterfly of the area, and she knows all the people. Yep. So she could be the
unofficial mayor.
Unofficial mayor.
Right.
Unincorporated unofficial mayor.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
So
what was that like? What was growing up? Well, tell me a little bit about what was growing up like.
So I would say that growing up in the neighborhood, you didn't like it. You could not get in trouble.
What do you mean?
Like, if you got in trouble, you did anything wrong. Everybody knows.
I thought you were like, I was doing bad things, trying to get in trouble, and they was like, you such a sweet girl.
No.
Okay. You couldn't get in trouble, or it was bad.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Sure,
so,
sure.
You couldn't get away with anything because before you get home, your dad already knows.
That's right. Oh, yeah. So, that's sort of like, it's the small town thing before you even could get to where the discipline was, it was coming to find
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
But in retrospect, I now see the benefit of that. You grew up with all of your cousins. You know, it was a safe space to try things. Everybody was for you in the neighborhood. Yeah. And during COVID, I really kind of saw the benefit of that because a lot of my cousins still live there. So they took care of all the elders and made sure that they had what they needed during that time. And I was like, oh, this is the place that I grew up. And now my nephew, my sister lives in Texas. So my nephew, he doesn't have that. And my sister and I talk about it all the time. Like, we wish that he had that experience. Yeah. Because in retrospect, it was actually kind of great.
When did you decide to go to UVA? Or like, how was your school life in Rice?
You know, there's one elementary school, one middle school, one high school. It is still like that.
Okay.
So very small. There is one private school there, but a very small public school system. So I went to public school the whole time. And the reason that I ended up at UVA was I applied for an engineering summer program and went to the summer program and really loved the school. And so I was like, well, I'm going to apply here to go to school. So I applied here in 2 other places. But chose to come here because I applied here early admissions.
Did this feel like you were still be at home come to UVA being so, I guess not super close, but
So it was close enough, but far enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. My first year, I went home every
that's what I'm saying. It's
every weekend.
It's close, yeah.
And then my dad was like, I can't keep coming to pick you up. You need to stay at school.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like that's how it was my first year at UVA,
you got to live where you are.
My mama came up. And she was washing my clothes. I was like, well, I go down there and pay $5. You can just come pick it up and bring it back to me on a Sunday.
That's right.
Because I was going to my brother's football. I didn't miss a football game his senior year. I was great. But after that second year, I was like, I never saw them again. I was like, no.
Yes. Yeah.
After that first, no, I didn't see them. They was like, they live down the street. Okay. I told them, don't you come past Barracks Road. Give me a call. Don't come to my house without calling.
Where were you living?
I lived at Barracks. Okay. Those apartments.
Like Barracks West?
Like right, you could walk to the Harris Teeter. Yeah. Those apartments across the street. I lived like right in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then I also lived over near the football stadium. I moved. Okay. After my second year, so I lived, but don't come up to Charlottesville without telling me you coming because I got stuff to do. They came up and was like, hey, are you at your dorm? No, I'm out.
I'm out.
No. Go ahead and leave now because I'm doing something.
No, my dad got tired of coming. So
yes.
He didn't come after that unless there was for a good reason.
Sure.
I think he showed up at graduation.
As one does. If you are just joining us, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price Markey here with Atalaya, Sergi here in a hot Charlottesville day. Big thanks to our sponsor, to our friend Jefferson School Foundation. That's jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. You have educators in your family?
Yes, I do.
Was that always a thing for you? Like, as is coming up, I mean, I think we sort of sometimes, we've talked about this, where we sort of have, would little you have been surprised by what you're doing now, right?
Yes, little me would have been surprised by what I'm doing
Really?
now. Yes.
Why is that?
So the educator that's in my family is my stepmom.
Okay.
So my mother passed away when I was 12. And so my father didn't remarry until I was in college. So I never lived with her.
Okay.
So the influence of being a young person with the
Yeah.
educator wasn't there.
Sure.
The reason I think education was really important to me is because, like I said, my family is also from Prince Edward County. So when the schools closed during massive resistance, my family didn't have a place to go to school.
Right.
My dad never finished high school. My aunt, who was an AB student, was devastated, and she still is. If you talk to her today,
Really? Wow.
you can still see the pain, and her voice becomes shaky.
Wow.
Because she didn't finish high school.
Yeah.
A lot of their friends whose parents were a little more settled, a little bit more affluent, went to stay with other family members in other places in order to finish school. But the two of them out of the families didn't. They were the oldest. So once the schools closed, they found ways to help the family by going to work. And my dad never went back to school. My aunt tried, but she was like, I was so much older than the kids I was in class with. She was like, it just didn't work. Yeah. And so she ended up getting her GED. And, they both made good lives. Yeah. But that was always a thing in our house, was like, you have to get your education. You have to go to school. And I tell people in my house, high school graduation was not a big deal. It was always that you will finish college. Yeah. And so my high school graduation, my family came, like my dad, my aunt, they came. But it was my college graduation from UVA when my family from North Carolina, from Maryland, my grandmother, even though she was older, she came. Like everyone came to that graduation because for them, education was everything because they lived through a time when they were denied education. Yeah. So I think that's why education was important to me.
What did you study when you were here?
Sociology.
Okay.
So I was a sociology major.
Yeah. Did you think about engineering from the program?
I did. I started going down that road, and I was like, this is not for me. And then I walked onto the track team. So,
quick.
No, I was a triple jumper. So I just could jump. So I walked onto the track team and then ended up with a scholarship. So then I was like, maybe I want to do sports medicine. So I actually studied that and went to what do they call it? The spring internship where you go for a week. And I was like, this is not for me.
Like the sports medicine thing?
Yeah. I went to a sports medicine clinic and interned for a week in Richmond. And I was like, no, this is not for me.
Was it too many injuries? Was it too many injuries, or was it just?
It was the same thing over and over and over.
Wrap a knee, wrap an ankle, wrap a shoulder, ice bag
for a whole week. And this is like.
I thought I was gonna be doing surgery.
I thought it would be a little bit different.
Right. That's right.
A little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, oh goodness, I'm about to be in my junior year. How am I going to now change my major?
Sure.
I had to fill a spot on my, a schedule, and there was a intro to sociology class, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And so I took it. And I loved it. And I was like, this is more like the things that I want to think about, how people function in society, how communities work. And so that's when I got my undergraduate in sociology. And then I went to VCU for a graduate in social work and decided to focus on school social work. So my career started in the city schools. I actually was a school social worker and a school counselor in the city schools before I moved to California.
How was that?
How was which one?
So being a school counselor and starting your career, coming out of college and being a school counselor in Charlottesville.
Yeah. I mean, I loved coming back. I loved coming back to the community. Is a place that I knew. I had a lot of friends here. So it made sense to me to come back here. I really enjoyed working in the city schools as a school social worker because you're in the schools, but you're also in the community. You get to know a lot of the community. It's a lot. That role is more about connecting with families and making sure that families have what they need to support their students. And so that was really a great opportunity. I switched to school counseling only because I wanted to know my kids more, and I had three elementary schools as a school social worker. So one of the principals, Jim Henderson, who he was at Johnson, he was like, well, maybe we can do some grant writing and you can just work here. And I was like, great. And then he got moved to Walker over the summer.
Yeah,
and
the principal carousel has been ongoing for a good long time. Yeah.
But he called me because one of the counselors decided to retire at the beginning of the school year. And he was like, what about school counseling? Yeah. And I was like, yes. Yeah. And my social work degree was in clinical.
Sure.
So the counseling, I only had to take 2 classes at UVA to get my license or certification to do school counseling. So, and that was really fun. A lot of just working with kids, working with the whole school on different things, bringing community organizations into the school. I did a summer program for African American boys and girls. They get 2 weeks at school, and we would do themes every year and focus on like African American historical figures through those themes, whatever the theme was for the summer, and go on field trips. Oh, wow. So that was really cool.
School counseling seems fun. That's what
it is fun. It is a really fun job. And then you still, most of the time, I guess, baby, but we got a month off. Yeah. We had an 11-month contract. So that's right. That was great, too.
A little bit of summer in there. Yeah. And so, I mean, what was do you remember any sort of the takeaways from that? I mean, you're sort of approaching education, sort of from the opposite end, right? Not from the end of sort of, ed school pedagogy and not from the classroom. I mean, did it look different to you? Were you noticing, just other things about, either the types of kids you were seeing most often, the types of things you were seeing most often? Or when was this, by the way? Was this?
This was in the 90s.
Early 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
That's when I was bopping around Jacksonville. I was at Jacksonville. I
was just like,
I might have seen you.
I was like, well, yeah. You was in her office.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been. I would have been.
I think one of the takeaways that I had was the importance of early education.
Ooh, yeah.
Absolutely. So a lot of the kids, when I was at Walker, so as a school social worker, you also work on the IEP. So when I moved to Walker, they gave me the 504 plans, which are similar to the IEP plans. And so I would still talk to parents about their students and what they were seeing with their kids. But one of the things you would do is you would talk all the way back. So you would ask them about when their child was born, what kind of things did they see, what was kindergarten like for them. And all of the kids that were on IEPs or 504 plans, their parents could see, and if you look at their school records, you can see that there were challenges way back in kindergarten. And so the importance of early education, the importance of preparing parents to understand development and what they can be doing at home. And some of the things you do at home, you don't have to have an education degree. It's just about, if you are washing clothes and you have a little kid, letting them sort, that is getting ready for math. Sort by color. You're making categories. You're counting. Just fun daily activities you can turn into learning experiences for kids. And those things matter. And the importance of reading. And I've worked with parents. So I worked in the school system. And when I went to California, I worked for an early education nonprofit. And even parents who can't read can read to their kids through a book. Just looking at the pictures and making up a story. The kids don't know, but that experience of holding a book, looking at a book, telling a story builds their vocabulary, which helps them to learn to read later. So all of those things are so important. And that's a takeaway that I got is how do we better support parents to help their kids and to understand the school system as well so that they can ask questions when they need to ask questions.
So did you go to California for the job, or were you already heading to California and decided to move into nonprofit, or how was that transition?
My husband was doing screenwriting at the time, and he was traveling back and forth, and we were selling our house in Fluvanna because I wanted to move back to the city. It's like I can't vote on anything in the city, but all my kids are in the city. So we were planning to move back to the city, and he was traveling back and forth, and I was like, well, if you really want to try this, we should move to Los Angeles and just do it.
Wow.
So we sold our house. We sold almost everything in our house. I took a couple of things I couldn't give away to my dad's house, so he kept those for like 11 years. And then we drove. To California? We drove to California. We left right after Thanksgiving dinner.
What?
He said, we'll see you at Christmas.
And drove to California. We got to California in December. We went to stay with my husband's grandparents for like a week. And then we just drove up and down the coast and visited places. And then we stayed with our friends who lived there once we got there. Wow. And so the role with Jumpstart for Young Children, which was the nonprofit, was me looking for a job because we both left with no jobs.
Yeah.
And
it's about a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith.
It was, and it was a great adventure, I would say, living there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so different from here.
It's a whole different country, it feels like, I'm sure.
It is. It's countries within countries.
I was about to say California's a couple different. Yeah, that's right.
So many communities that live, particularly in Los Angeles. Like our first apartment, we could walk a couple of blocks down the street to Little Ethiopia. And it was Little Ethiopia. All the stores, all the food, everything, the culture. They would have street fairs there. So you go there. If we drove the other direction, we could go to Koreatown. And everything is written in Korean. So it was just a very eye-opening experience to people from all over the world, from all different types of people. And just a lot of culture is there. So I enjoyed it.
How long were you out there?
11 years. We were supposed to be there 2. Yeah, that was the plan.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Wow.
We'll see if the screenplay thing works out, and then we'll come back. And it did not work out, so you will not see his name on any screenplay. No, we went out there, and then one of the big writer strikes happened, and because he wasn't already inside, he could get no one to meet with him. So he started volunteering and then started working for an animal rescue.
Oh, no kidding.
And doing technology stuff is kind of what he does now, operations. So,
wow.
But that's why we went out there and found that job because I wanted to stay with education, but I had worked with nonprofits here, bringing them into the school to help with different things at Walker. And I was like, maybe I'll try a nonprofit, but I wanted to be education focused. And so that's how I got connected to them. So my job was to start the office in Los Angeles. Which I didn't know how big a job that was going to be.
Yeah. You want a job? Well, you got to build it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, truly.
Exactly. It worked out though. We built the office. I'm going to take credit. It was one of the best offices in Los Angeles.
Take credit.
Our programs thrived. Our team, people would come to our office and they would leave and say, I love visiting y'all in Los Angeles. Y'all are so joyful. The office is so great. Just all kinds of people working together to make a difference for kids and families.
Yeah, that's great. If you guys are just tapping in, this is the United Way of, what is it? Envision Radio. From the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WNA. I've only done this 6,000 times.
That's why I always read my paper.
I'm Price. That is Marky. We have Atalaya, Sergi here. Big thanks to our sponsor, to our friend, Jefferson School Foundation, jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. Okay, so you go for 2. Psych. You stay for a decade. So why'd you come back?
Family.
Okay.
family. My husband was an only child. His father has since passed away. But he lived here in Charlottesville. He worked for the university. He built the buildings. So he oversaw like when Scott Stadium was renovated.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was his project. The new health center was his project. The new part of the education school, those were his projects. So he worked for the university.
Sheesh.
So we came back. We decided to move back to Virginia, and we debated where are we going to live.
You could go anywhere
if we come back.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't go from Los Angeles to home, to my home.
to rise.
It's like, I can't do that.
There won't be no little Ethiopia
At
there.
that time, my dad they didn't even have cable for like internet. They were still doing satellite.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't work from there, so I can't go home.
I can't hear the.
I loved going there when I was in Los Angeles, though, coming home, like everything
being
was quiet
offline,
and dark at night, which was different. So we decided to move back here. His dad was here, and my parents are close, so it brought us back for family. That's why we came back. I have my sister, and then I have a stepbrother, and they both just move around a lot. My sister's, my brother-in-law's in the military, so they don't get to choose exactly where they go. They have like 1 to 2 choices when it's time. And my brother was just moving around, trying to just grow his career in law enforcement. So they were not here. And I was like, somebody should come home, and I can. So that's what I did.
Yeah. So how'd you find it when you came? I mean, was it nostalgic? Was it weird? I mean, that's a long time, and I'm guessing it was when, like, sort of mid-2000s.
11 years in Cali. You from Cali.
Right. But again, that time in particular was, I mean, I think Charleston's been growing pretty consistently, but like that time, there was a lot of growth in that. Even in that time, you're coming back to sort of a dramatically
different
new place.
Whole different place.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, I still feel like I'm learning my community.
Yeah.
So when we moved back, I was still working for Jumpstart, so my work wasn't here.
Okay.
The most work I did here was I met with Dean Pianta because he was on the advisory committee.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, so he was helping me with a project to help Jumpstart figure out workforce development to develop more early education teachers. And so I would meet with him, but that was the only work that I did here. So I tell people that I've been back since 2018, 2019. But I really was just eating, sleeping, doing my shopping here. I was really not in the community because my work was always taking me other places.
Sure.
But it was totally different. Wegmans shopping center didn't exist.
Yeah. I can imagine coming back after 10 years because they built something every day.
The whole south side of town there was nothing down there.
They built it in a day.
Looks totally different.
Totally different. Even the 7 years I've been gone.
29 North. I was like, when did all these people move up here?
Yeah.
Where did this Target come from?
Yeah.
So very different. And then I was like, okay, when did Charlottesville become the destination for wineries, breweries, and distilleries?
It's our thing, supposedly.
Yeah. That was not a thing when I
it's kind of like you were coming back into a retirement place. Like, you want to go to wineries? You want to...
You know what actually is shocking to me still to this day is that what that does. What do you think the group, like the surprising group of like affinity group that is in Charlottesville a lot? Not affinity group, but like I'll just tell you, it is incredible. I couldn't figure out how to phrase it. It is like apparently a top destination for bachelorette parties.
Really?
We are. We up there with South Carolina now?
Because of that. Because of the wineries, because of the breweries, because of you pop a little Airbnb on Afton Mountain and come and do the winery tours. You hop on the bus. I love a winery tour.
We got one of the best.
So go to the spas.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So there you go. So even so, I think it's less of it's old folks out on a Saturday and more of a it's a destination for that type of thing. Which I found pretty interesting. Yeah. And again, I think growing up here, you have an incredibly different view of the place, right? Like y'all are traveling here to go to Bodos, like.
I mean, I do love. I get that. Actually, I love a Bodos. I feel like a tourist every time I go in there. Even though I know the cash.
What Bodos are you going to?
I go to the one right over here.
Preston.
Preston.
Okay. Are you a Preston Bodos person too?
Yeah, because it's right next to the county office building where my office is.
It is worth the hype. I completely get why they,
it's good.
are award winning and they're making. I went to New York. I told you I went to New York last year and I had a New York bagel for the first time and I was like,
It's not as good.
This is not as good. I said, I know this is y'all's culture. New York, I know this is your culture. But we have definitely taken it because this ain't nothing like a Charlottesville Bodo's bagel. Okay, can y'all do a little better? I know this is y'all thing.
So the thing I did miss when I came back, I was so upset, was Spudnuts was closed.
R.I.P. Spud Nuts, yes.
Where was that?
That
my gosh.
was on...
Right over the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Near Belmont.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You never
didn't know
go to
about
Spud Nuts?
I don't know what that is. I don't even know what they sell. What place? Is it nuts? Girl, come on, please.
It's closed now, but it was donuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But made from like potato
my
or
gosh.
something.
I-
They were
My mom, I'm gonna text my mom and say, "Girl, you know what Spud Nuts is?
I'm
They
sure
from
she
here."
does. Yeah, I'm sure she does. Oh, incredible. Yeah,
Oh, dang, I missed the movement.
You missed
Oh,
that.
yeah. I'm surprised.
yeah.
That's
Maybe they was giving to me. Maybe they
staple.
was giving them to me as a baby, and by the time I was conscious, it was
It was
closed.
I mean, that is in the Bodo's category
Oh, is
of
it?
like Charlottesville staples.
and now
Yeah,
it's gone.
It is gone,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's been a couple different things.
Yeah. Since.
Since. Yeah.
But I was looking forward to that when I got back. Being
And it
able
was
to
gone
go
within that
on
10
the
year?
regular, because when we would come back and visit, we
Sure.
would always go.
Yeah.
We would go to Bodo's.
Yep.
We would
Now
go
it-
there.
That's right.
Now we got Duck Donuts.
That's right. We do have a duck donuts. Yeah.
I tried that.
Not bad.
That's not bad. I'm assuming it's not as good as Spud Nuts
No,
the way
they
y'all
come
are
with
acting.
much less nostalgia, but they're not bad.
Yeah, it is hard to fight something that was a legend.
and all that comes with it. So talk about your sort of how did you make it into what was the career path that took you from doing remote work here? At what point was it too hard to do remotely? Was it, I mean, like, why did you transition out of that, right? Because it seems like you almost predated what became a remote working revolution.
Yes. When I first started at Jumpstart, because it was a national organization, we were already doing conference calls, and we moved to Zoom calls, and people.
Was it always Zoom? What were
Teams, Teams,
Yeah.
and Zoom, whichever system we happened to be on in whichever year. Yeah. But we were already doing those things, and I would work from home 2 days a week, anyways, in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Because going to work, I live 9 miles from work. It would take me an hour
2
to
hours,
get there
yeah.
That's too
and an
much.
hour and a half to get home in the afternoon.
Absolutely
So
not. No.
we all worked from home 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So the reason, what brought me to working more in Charlottesville was my last job was with the Biden-Harris administration.
Oh, wow.
So I was an appointee assigned to AmeriCorps to run their AmeriCorps Seniors program. Because while I was out in Los Angeles, even though I worked for a nonprofit that brought college students to preschool classrooms to make sure kids were ready for kindergarten, we started engaging older adults there.
Oh.
And so I got a AmeriCorps Seniors grant in order to bring older adults into the classroom. And I loved it. I loved working with the elders. They just bring a whole different feel and flavor to the classroom.
Sure.
They were able to connect with families more. But when the Biden-Harris administration came into their time, one of my mentors was helping to identify people that they wanted to interview for different roles, for appointee roles. And she called me one night and she was like, I think you would be great for this. Will you let me put your name forward?
Yeah.
I have just phenomenal mentors.
Yeah.
And whatever they suggest, I do.
All right, fine.
That's the thing I'm
Yes.
missing. My mentors tell me, I'm like, sounds good, but I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
You gotta go
so
with
great.
it. You gotta go
Thanks
with
for
it.
letting me know. I'll call you back.
Yeah. So she put my name for it. Okay, I'm saying to myself, this is never going to work out, but I would love to understand, like, what is the appointee roles? What is the process that they choose appointees? So I'm like, I'm going to do this. And she asked me to do it, and I'm going to do it.
And you do what your mentors say.
Yeah. So I'm like, it'll be an experience regardless.
Sure.
I never thought that I would be chosen. So I was, and I was there for the whole 4 years. I tell people I started an hour after President Biden, and I ended an hour before he did.
Wow.
So I was there the whole 4 years. So I knew my end date. I was like, this is going to come to an end.
Sure, yeah.
And when it came to an end, I was like, I just want to be in my community. I've done the national thing. Being an appointee was a phenomenal experience. I got to work with people from all over the countries, our territories, create programming that kind of moved AmeriCorps seniors forward in thinking about how to engage with older adults, because they are very different. This generation of older adults is different from the last generation. And so moving those programs out of like the 70s into the, the 2020s was a great experience, but it is exhausting. It is 4 years, almost 24/7, and people are still pushing to do more. So I was exhausted, and I was like, I just want to be here, and I want to know Charlottesville. I want to know what's going on here, because I never knew. I would have friends from the Farmville area who would say, oh, I'm coming to Charlottesville. Let's do this because this is going on in your community. And I was like, really? They're like, you didn't even know nothing was going on. Yeah. So I was like, it's time for me to do this. And so the foundation position just brought all the different parts of my life and experience together. You know, it's education, working for a nonprofit, whether you are the designated fundraiser or not, you fundraise. It was opportunity to give small grants or support things that the school is doing. And my office at AmeriCorps Seniors, at AmeriCorps, the AmeriCorps Seniors is a grant-making office. So we made grants to communities, every state, every territory. Some of them had multiple programs. So all of those pieces came together. They also needed to kind of restart the foundation in a sense. And so since I have opened offices, created programming, like I also knew all of those pieces about how to do that, how to think about it. Working with a board, I had 2 boards at Jumpstart myself and worked with the board at AmeriCorps. So kind of had that experience too. So you know your job is going to end. You need to start looking for another one. So after I woke up, that's what I tell people, I had to take a long nap. This was an opportunity. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can help them with what they're trying to do. And it is meaningful. So the foundation really fills the gaps of things that the school district doesn't have the funds for or can't use their funds for. So since their funds are federal and state, there are restrictions on the way they can use their funds. And the things that the foundation does primarily, I feel like, is bring things to fill in so that children can take advantage of the education that we're trying to give them. So one of our main things is basic and essential needs. And, you know, if you don't know, you can research, just Google it. There'll be like papers and papers and papers on the fact if kids are hungry, they cannot learn. They can't think, they can't focus. We are trying to bring an initiative around to help with dental care, because the schools were seeing a lot of kids with dental problems. And even if you have insurance, sometimes the copay or what you have to pay to have dental work is too high for families to do. And we have a lot of families that don't have insurance, don't have dentists. Kids are not going to the dentist. So really helping them with those things. I was able to receive funds from the Bama Works Fund to be able to buy grocery store cards for families. It's something that the schools, I feel like, even when I was a school social worker and a school counselor, you are the first to see that a child is hungry. You know, we work in tandem with social services, but often we are the ones that are first raising that flag that, you know, kids are hungry or families are struggling with housing and that kind of thing. So the foundation really works in that area to help with that, to, you know, bring resources to the schools, to help the teachers. Our newest initiative is around teacher development and retention. So we have teachers that need help finishing their licenses, or teaching assistants that want to become teachers, teaching assistants that need to finish credentials. And though the school district does reimburse funds up to $750, a lot of teachers can't afford
You
to
can't put, you have
front,
to put the money. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're working towards launching an initiative to help them to do that, because we want to keep the teachers we have, grow the teachers we have. We have phenomenal TAs that are doing great work and are really impactful, and let's move them into the classroom if that's what they desire. So that's a newer initiative. So it's those kinds of things that the school districts don't have enough funds for. Because I would say, probably can ask any school district in the country, do you have all the funds you need to do the work that you're being asked to do? And they will all say no.
Yeah, which is interesting, and it's not about me, so I'm not going to take my education adjacent path. But the funny thing is there's an interesting argument for in Charlottesville they do, and because the school systems themselves are wildly well funded, and so I think what you're saying is really interesting, insofar as where those funds go and the type of things that kids and families bring into the building with them, which affect their ability and opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
Since you started, you're about a year in.
About a year, almost a year.
Well,
Year in
you're doing
August.
great because it feels like forever.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna guess 5.
No, just 1 year.
How has the first year been? And I remember being in the conversations before you were hired about who to hire.
Okay.
And so I'm curious, as someone who has been in that spot in I'm wondering if your experience was similar to mine, where the first year you just kind of felt like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? And then I think what's so interesting about certainly what you're doing and your perspective on it, having worked in education, then having worked out, in community work, is like, how did you decide what to focus on, right? How did you decide in the big wide world of things, when we talk about people and environment and kids and learning, how did you, right, take all of what you've learned and what you've done and say, okay, our focus is X, right? Because you could, pick a thing, right? Like, pick a number. What was the sort of heuristic for you that you used to say, okay, here's where we as the foundation are going to dig in?
So I wanted to make sure that we were touching on all the areas that support students. So their academic growth, those outside things, like you said, that they bring to school that prevents them from being able to take advantage of the education that our tax dollars are trying to provide. And then knowing that the most important person in the school to make a difference for a child is going to be their teacher. Their teacher can make them love school or make them want to step back from school. And so I wanted to make sure that we had support in all of those areas. The board, before I came, had already decided to work on supporting the academic piece and also supporting basic and essential needs. They were doing teacher appreciation, but this kind of brings more support directly to teachers in an area that's going to be impactful for the students and impactful for them and for the school district, to hold on to teachers that are doing great work for students. So those were the ways that I kind of looked at, okay, what areas should we focus on? And then data was the other thing. Looking at what are our children facing, and how do we communicate to people that these basic and essential needs that we're trying to meet, whether it be food, supporting them when families first become homeless, to make sure that kids stay in school, parents are getting connected to resources they need, the dental health piece, providing opportunities for mobile markets, so partnering with our Communities in Schools program on that. Just what's our data telling us? So I work closely with the team that supports families that are experiencing homelessness. I talk with our counseling team on the regular basis to understand what are the needs that they're seeing. And then the teacher piece, 2 different staff people came to me, unbeknownst to each other, within like a 2 or 3 week period, to ask me, could I help support teachers? And so then I was like, okay, so I need to find out more, like, what is going on? What kind of supports do they need? Why would 2 people, unbeknownst to each other, need to come to me and say that if it wasn't a priority or need for support for teachers, right? So then I went down and spoke with HR and kind of learned that this is a place where there's a gap.
Right.
And that's why they're asking for support for teachers. Just in this like little area, there's a gap because they can't front money for things, or they need to take more classes than $750 is going to cover.
Yeah.
And these are teachers who have committed to teaching. So they're not first-year teachers. They've been here for a while and are trying to work through the process to get a license, to get a credential, and teachers that, are really doing, like I said, good work and making progress for kids and families.
If you are just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. I'm Price. That's Marky. We're here with the Executive Director from the Albemarle Foundation for Education. Atalaya, how do you say your last name?
Sergi.
Don't say your last name wrong. Don't say your last name wrong. Atalaya Sergi?
Sergi. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Big thanks. Dude, listen, my mom told me she just ask the questions you want answers to.
I know that's right. Go ahead, Mama.
Big thanks to our friends, our sponsors, Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. How what does success look like for you guys as sort of a I would argue education adjacent organization? Is it scope of grant making? Are there certain things in the data that you're looking at that you're really like, hey, in 5 years we want to move this? How do you look back on or how will you sort of look back and evaluate yourself and your staff sort of at these touch points to say, okay, we're doing it, or time to tinker and see what else we can do?
Yeah, I think one is continuing to hear from the staff, principals, counselors, teachers. What are the needs? Mm-hmm. And if we're hearing them say a need is being decreased, or they see less of a need for something, then we want to keep doing that. Mm-hmm. So one of the things where there's been a decreased ask this year is after the back to school bash last year, when the Albemarle County Public Schools kind of took that on from the African American Pastors Association.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. This year, there's been less requests to central office for school supplies.
Okay.
For kids.
Sure.
So that's telling us that we are making an impact there. When we can get more kids connected to dental offices, like the dental clinic here, that's a nonprofit. When we can get more kids connected to that, parents know that that's a resource for them, and we stop hearing from principals that kids are missing school or out of the classroom because of dental needs, then we'll know, okay, we're making a difference there. Mm-hmm. If we don't see any movement on the areas that we're working on, then it's time to think about something else.
Yeah.
We also try to stay in alignment with the school's strategic plan.
Okay.
So as they are doing their strategic planning, my board is going to start meeting with the school board to understand, are we in alignment? Is there something else we need to do some other way we can help? So I think those are the ways that we will figure out if we're meeting that need. I think another thing that the foundation was set up to do was also to work with schools and departments to receive funding that they need for different things that they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So this year, I worked with one school to we're working with them to seek grants for their outdoor education program. And then worked with one of the instruction department to get a grant that would help them with their middle school health workforce development. They need some more equipment. So working with them to do that as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that I hope over time will grow. We need to grow our staff because right now it's just me.
It's
and I
just
have
you?
It's just
you buried
me.
the lead. You saying people's names. You're talking like you got 10 people.
No,
just right it did my Uncle Phil.
No.
We.
Like,
Who is we?
We is
You
me
speak
and the
French
board.
now.
The royal we. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
All right.
no, it's just me right now. I have this last semester in summer. I have some amazing interns that are doing great work. But yeah,
I tell you buried the lead.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
She said we've gone out, we've talked to a lot of people. And I was like, oh, you and your five staff members. No, we as in, me and one of the board chair was there,
So what?
And my intern.
Oh my God.
We love an intern. I had a couple
Interns
interns.
are fabulous.
They are. It's so nice.
They keep me on track too.
They can be. Put it like
It's
that.
a little work.
They can be.
I love all my interns.
have loved all my interns too.
Good. See, y'all are on the same page over there.
We'll help you. We'll help you with your
please do
your selections.
Okay, so is I would assume growing the staff a priority?
Yes.
What do those staff members do, right? So as you grow the staff, what are they doing, right? Because your job largely everything now currently, but it appears
she turned the lights on when she get in. She turned the lights off when she go out.
It appears that it is largely a sort of structure, strategy, and fundraising gig. To grow this thing requires the gas in the tank to grow the thing. That's largely your role and your mandate. So what are the staffing considerations that you're thinking about? Like, if with the understanding that like we would love to have everything tomorrow, what is the thing that you're like, man, if I could free up some time to do X,
Yeah. So I think the next two positions I would hire for would definitely be someone who is 100% focused on fundraising and development.
Sure.
Because it takes time.
Everybody need one of them.
Yes, it takes time.
This is radio.
I'm talking to her. I'm not talking to the people. Y'all don't even know what's going on in here. Don't worry about it. Okay, the second one would be what? And
the second one right now is like an operations person to get our systems and stuff set up and to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
And then someone who can help with marketing and awareness building, because a lot of people don't know about the foundation.
Sure. It's so interesting you say that, because I agree with you, but two, you picked like the unsexiest, hardest to fund possible things, right? Because there is this nonprofit ethos of like money in, money out, right? Investing in infrastructure is always the hardest thing to do. Like, hey, we need to build ourselves internally. And now it's an argument I buy, it's an argument she buys, because that's what we do, right? Yes. But are you actively doing that? And have you found those conversations? But why aren't you giving it to the kids? Why aren't you giving it to the schools? Why aren't you, right?
No. So we have not started to do a lot of work around the infrastructure and capacity building. Yeah. It is also the hardest thing.
It is
100%. The hardest thing to fundraise 100%. For. Yeah. So I feel like we need to build up awareness of the foundation, support the schools, the kids, the families, teachers, to show that we are doing this work, and then hopefully find some donors, some grants that can help us bring on, some staff to begin with.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't let me miss an ad break here. I get yelled at by everybody. I know you do. Right? Just people always. Lord. Anyway, if you're just joining us, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WNA. Price Markey, the Executive Director of the Albemarle Foundation for Education. Atalaya, Sergi, big thanks. Our friends, our sponsors, the Jefferson School Foundation. Jefferson School Foundation, reimagined, refueled, redefined for the future. JeffersonSchoolFoundation.org.
What type of things do you guys have coming up that you want people to know about or need help with, or if they want to get in touch with you about being, helpful to your organization? What can they do? What they got going on? What's in the pipeline?
So the biggest thing coming up is the Back to School Bash, August 9th. We will be out at the old Fashion Square Mall. I'm not even sure what to call it anymore.
So sad.
Is it still the mall? Is the back of it still like...
Is Belk still there?
Belk is still there.
That
and
side
Home Depot
is still there. It's like Home Depot and then like... half the mall.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in the space that used to be the old JCPenney's.
Okay. Sure.
So the management company, they are giving that to us for free. Yeah. To have a community event there. And so that's the next biggest thing. People can get involved in a multitude of ways. If you are a business or just an individual person, you want to be a sponsor, you can go to our website. So our website is www.albemarlefe.org, and you can find our Back to School Bash page there. There is a sponsorship document if you want to be a sponsor. If you want to donate, you can donate right there on the website. We will be looking for volunteers. Sure. On the website, there is a space for you to fill out a volunteer interest form to let us know that, and then we will get back in touch with you later on to let you know what areas we need volunteer help in. You can also, if you're a family and you need some school supplies, you can sign up and register on the website. The sign up is not quite up yet, but it will be. And so, keep checking back in about a month and it should be there for you to sign up. We'll also have free sports physicals, free immunizations, Community partners will be there to talk about how they can be a support to families throughout the year. We always invite organizations that work with children and youth so that parents know what kind of opportunities for enrichment are out there for their children. We will also have raffles, fun games, food. So go to our website, read about the opportunity, and look out for us as we continue to advertise.
That sounds great. Last question for me, which I'm curious about. How do you wrap your head around what is like a very large and diverse geographical area, right? Albemarle County is pretty big, right?
Yeah.
And the schools all, they're just different. Albemarle is a lot different than Monticello, is a lot different than Red Hills, a lot, right? And so how do you sort of marry those missions in a way that makes sense, right? Because as you're talking about sort of marketing and awareness and all that, and that sort of boils down to like people have to understand what it is, right?
Yes.
You know, how do you get your head around at least sort of the what it is when you have like, even you got family in like Esmont, right? It's like Esmont and Northern Albemarle County. Ugh, right? Both under your umbrella, but
different.
Very different,
very
right?
different.
Very different experiences. And then you pop out to Ivy, got a whole different thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you just think about the uniting principle for you guys, as an organization that has been tasked with, being a good steward for all of those spaces?
Yeah. So one of the things that I try to keep front of mind is that we are here to serve all the children and all the families. We're going to have to do that in different ways. That's going to mean something different for different areas of the county. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is, as we are building out our board, is making sure that we have representation from all the parts of the county. Because for me, that's how I'm going to stay connected to understanding what is different, how is this structured different, what are the needs that are different for the different areas. I also go to our family council meetings, and they have representatives from all over all the schools. I go to the PTO president's meeting with Dr. Haas. All the different PTO presidents come to that meeting, and they talk about different issues. So when I go to those meetings, I am not the speaker. I'm there to listen and learn and hear what parents, schools are challenged with and how I can support that. So that's how I try to make sure that we are not forgetting that there are schools in all the different areas and families in all the different areas that need different things. And I'm not opposed to going out. So I've been out to Scottsville to deliver things that they asked me for. I met a parent in Crozet because she needed support with a grocery store card and she had to work. And I was like, well, I can come out and bring this to you so you can get what you need. So also going out.
It's about showing up for people.
Different schools, different PTO meetings, different events that schools are having.
What do you think?
I think it is so hot outside that I wish I could stay in here with y'all forever.
We always end where we started.
I try to bring it back around.
There you go. Just put a bow.
Tie it up.
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was excellent. That is the voice of Executive Director of the Albemarle Foundation for Education, Atalaya Sergi. You can find them at albemarlefe.org. And what is that, August 9th, you say?
August 9th is Back to School Bash.
August 9th at the whatever we're calling Fashion Square these days.
From 12 to 4.
12
Back
to 4.
in my day, it used to be a JC
what?
Penney.
There's school supplies, there are physicals,
School
there's
supplies,
immunizations.
physicals, organizations, fun, raffles. I do want to give a plug to our sister event. So there will be an event also at the Boys and Girls Club on Cherry. And they are providing haircuts, hair braiding, nail tech, tennis shoe giveaway, and they're partnering with Parks and Rec of the city to have fun activities there too. So make it a whole day on August 9th of back to school fun. Go back and forth between. We want you all to come to both events and get what you need to have an awesome year for the kids.
Get yourselves right for the upcoming school year. Big thanks to you for listening. If you like what you hear, share it with your friends, colleagues, enemies, strangers. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, wherever you get podcasts. Best way to support us, consider making a donation. Time, treasure. What is the other one? Talent. To all of our wonderful nonprofits, City of Promise, United Way, Albemarle Foundation for Education. That's how we continue doing this work. And of course, this show. And we need to find you some employees. Big thanks to our sponsor, to our friends, the Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. Go check them out. Join us in Shaping Tomorrow, honoring our rich history and creating opportunities to provide space for growth, collaboration, and lasting impact. That's jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. For Atalaya, for Marky, this is Price. Stay cool. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.